charge you like 20 bucks per ton or something, so he thinks it's a second ton.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a ton or what.
I don't know.
But anyhow, they charge him like 40 bucks, I guess. They charge him like for a double load, and so he gets to calculate. That's going to cost me like $200 to get rid of the stuff and everything. And my brother come over there, and I told him, well, he's thinking he's going to drag this over to my place. But then, then I can mess with trying to haul. I ain't got no way to haul nothing to the dump,
Yeah.
And he's got big old trailers and trucks. And, but he's saying it's going to cost him more money just trying to get rid of the trash, the old siding and everything. Well, when I was gone, my brother had told him that the way that thing that was built, that you couldn't drag it because it's not very stable. When you put the roof on the walls, well, depending on how you nail that together, it's not going to take no jiggle, really. And other times it can take a whole bunch, depending on how you build it. My brother's saying, yeah, that's that way that doesn't take, it'll just fall down, it'll fall apart. And then when I was gone, months later, well, they were going to pull a fast one on me and pull it over there to my place. And they pulled it and it fell down. So when I got back and that house was gone, I asked them about it, and that's when they told me that they had tried to drag it to my place. And I guess it was lucky for me it fell apart. I would have come back and I would have had a pile of stuff on my place. But we got to looking at it, and it's like, well, heck, they had put 50 new studs up. And so really, that's all that you were going to get that was going to be very usable out of that thing. It's those 50 new studs. And my brother started to learn, well, if you got money, you can simplify things and stuff. They're used to doing everything. You spend a week of your time to save a dime or something, kind of town. There's been a little more money circulating with the price of oil being higher. So everybody's getting out there, aggravate themselves for a week to save a dime. And so he'd be like, well, you could buy 50 studs, for whatever price down at the hardware store and not have to mess with all, how old buildings have all that rat poo and everything in it and stuff. And there's times you go and you help renovate something or tear some old houses down. We used to do that time to time when we was younger living around there. But nowadays they try to tell you need to avoid doing that kind of stuff. And especially when you get to where your lungs are already taking hits from having too many colds and whatnot. And so it's a good idea to try to avoid all that rat poo.
Yeah, I got a respirator mask last time I had to work doing stuff
Well,
like that.
they want you to wear those paper, they got the little paper mask you wear, like when you're doing salt. To me, that makes it worse. Because it's circulating the air and it's just making the salt dust go in. I guess you're supposed to make it fit tight against your face. Actually seal around your face. It always seems like it comes in. And then that lets enough of it get in there. It seems like it's worse than not even wearing a mask. You definitely noticed it more with the mask on.
Yeah, I got this $30 one with the thing. It fit pretty snugly. It did a pretty good job.
This one guy uses that gas mask. He'd be re-varnishing furniture. We finished they buy that Chester doors and things and take them home and strip them down and stain them and everything. And he's thinking he's okay because he's using his gas mask. But you're supposed to shave when you use your gas mask. And I see him with his couple of day razor stubble on there because he's been busy working and he's shaving. And he'd be telling me, oh, I've been staining the last couple of nights or something. I'm like, he'd be trying to tell me how his gas mask makes it okay. And it's like, yeah, I can tell he don't. And I think your gas mask is so old that it probably ain't even working right because you can't even tell that you're not even using it correctly and stuff. Well, he ended up dying of cancer eventually, and it's probably from all them years of stripping and finishing all that furniture. And then they go and put it in a store, and then they sit in that store. So like the wife's always sitting in the store, and when you first stain something and put it in the room, a closed room, it really puts a lot of smell in there.
You can, like a Sealand van, you can smell.
But the two of them, they do a lot of hard work. And then, like, you go in that bookstore and they have all these knickknacks in there, and it's just unbelievably clean. And that's because she's spending her whole day instead of sitting around just taking it easy and reading the book, waiting for another customer to come in and buy something. No, she's in there washing all those knickknacks all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so you're killing yourself scrubbing all them knickknacks all the time. It's ridiculous. You don't need to wear yourself out like that, but you do.
Yeah.
And then they do a lot of rental properties. And, you know, that gets to be a lot of work just when you're not trying to do much.
Yeah, right.
But if you're trying to keep busy, you're going to be able to find a lot to keep busy with, you know.
Yeah.
And so they work themselves pretty hard on certain things.
Yeah, you ought to be a public inspiration speaker, Delbert. You're a natural. Like those, what, Horatio Alger?
Well, you know, I told you I have to go over there and hire out as being a professional filibuster, and then Ron Paul,
Yeah, right.
Rad Paul will be doing his filibuster. They saying they're doing another one now. They had some article in the paper saying they were filibustering the gun control thing.
No, I've lost track. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way they like to keep it. And then they drag everything out and out and out. And then another time it seems like bam, 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 they doing all kinds of stuff, you know.
Yeah, we just went over to the public galleries, and the chamber was pretty empty, but some people came up in the galleries, and so I kind of talked to Mecca about some of my ideas, and they listened, and it seemed like we made some new friends that liked some of the ideas, so it's one way to do it.
Seems like a lot of people been around today, like today and stuff, out staring around. It's been better weather the last few days.
Yeah.
You all got to go out and eat at the food trucks and stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Walk down and eat lunch at the restaurant or something instead of hanging out and eating your sandwich when this weather's too bad to go outside. You brown bag it when it's bad weather, you know.
Well, yeah, got to get the batteries work and the computer and go out and find places to work. The sunlight washes it out, but find shade or some place to see the screen and work outside or something.
Yeah, it's hard to work outside because the sunlight is so bright, actually, compared to indoors. Yeah. It seems like you'd notice, but I guess you're so accustomed to it, you don't hardly realize how much darker it is inside than outside.
It's like 100 times.
And then it's not safe because while you're working on, you're staring at your computer screen, you're not watching somebody sneak up.
Yeah, right.
They have one of those Starbucks down there. They have a nice little thin counter, you know, where it plugs all down the thing. So you can just plug it in there. You ain't even got to stoop underneath the deal to reach it. They just got it right up there, you know, in front of you. So it's in the way of your ribs. But then the sun comes in there, and then they playing a jazz or something. You know how once they just blare kind of music. So you'll be trying to listen to a video with your headphones and you keep hearing that jazz coming in there. And then the sunlight's shining in that window if you go in there after like lunchtime, you know. And so there's so much sun shining in your face you can't hardly see the screen, the video, and you can't hear it either. And it's like, why am I here?
Yeah. So maybe you have to go to the library like you do or something to find a different place to work.
So you're able to transfer a very big file. I guess you're transferring those gigabyte files all the time through your modem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I see on YouTube there's more and more like videos that are like an hour and a half or something, or 2.5 hours long even.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like someone does a presentation, a seminar or something.
Yeah. Or
it'd be just like some old movie. You know, everybody's doing a thing like, you know how like, I don't know, I guess it's Library of Congress. They scan the books now. They go off copyright and they scan them and then make them available electronically.
Yeah.
Was it the Smithsonian or somebody? I think that does that. I don't know if it's like, I think it might be the Smithsonian instead of the Library of Congress, but maybe. But then you got like Google Books and stuff doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was someone else, I forget who. I guess maybe it's just another website that does books or something. But they're all pulling it's off if it's out of, you know, if the copyright's expired. And so some of them is something like after the author dies and then 50 years or 75 years or 50 years or something. book's written within a certain time range, it's like 80 years after that person dies.
Yeah.
And so they just like tabulate which books they can do.
Yeah. Well, God willing, we'll make the most of the rest of the time we have to write books. And good to chat with you, and see you Wednesday at 6:30, God willing. And the default is, if for any reason I missed that, the next Thursday, the 25th, is the backup one. But
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Guess that drive ought to work all right.
Yeah. If it doesn't, then
I need to check with you
can-
if it worked or not. Gotta run the flag up.
Can you wait till next Wednesday, or you need to know now? I have an other drive I know does work, a 2 terabyte drive.
Yeah.
And
But I don't know if that work on Mac and Windows. So.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work.
See, that's the one thing about that drive, is that it worked. They have some Seagate drives.
There is something I can do. I can format the other one to work on Windows, and I think I can transfer my files onto it then, and it'll work with Windows. But I'm kind of tired now.
Yeah, you have to make it like NTSF, and then Windows can read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll find it quite laborious, just because there's just so many files to mess with. You may just have to do just grab a whole bunch, just drop it, and then your computer's kind of tied up. And you have to try to not be having to move it around or something.
Well, I haven't moved it for too long. So,
well, if you bump it around, stirring around,
yeah,
you got to get it positioned somewhere where you can leave it alone. And
yeah, it's going to take me a few days to get the apartment pulled together. I mopped the kitchen floor last night at 2 a.m. I finally got to mop the floor. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. By Wednesday, I should have a pretty good idea. I'll run some tests on this one. I'll compare it to the other one.
But if you get that thing off in one corner, then it can be doing it. It can just be copying away while you're doing all your other stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's working reliably, then you can just do great big old chunks.
Yeah. Hopefully Wednesday I'll be able to bring the computer and the drive out, and we can work on it together.
Well, it's going to take too long. It's going to take a lot more than an hour to do it.
Well, I mean, I know.
I guess we can look at it. If you got the files on there, we can kind of look through there to see what you actually got on
that's what I mean. Yeah, hopefully I'll have files on it. I don't know if we'll have it all done by then.
I think Windows Media Player will play that file format, won't it?
I don't know much about Windows, but I know if I can get it on the drive, we can watch it on my computer, and then you can take the drive and test it on the Windows computer you get to.
We can make sure if it'll read it on there.
Yeah, and be careful to not get viruses on it when you test it on the Windows computer. So if I'm going to hook it up to my computer again, I know it's virus free.
Well, supposedly there is nothing on there. They loaded Windows from the disk on there, and then I haven't intentionally connected to anything. But when you go certain places, and you turn on your computer, anybody that's within range can start accessing your computer, even if you think you got it locked up.
So you've hooked this up to a computer then?
Not that.
Not that.
I just got that from the store.
Yeah, that's what I
by the food truck on my way over here.
Good. So good. Then I'll try to fill it up by Wednesday, and then bring it out, and then we can look through it, and then you can take it with you and do whatever you want with it.
See if I can read it or not, so you'll know if it worked.
Right.
And then that way, like if somebody asks you, hey. But see, on the Seagate one, I finally figured out it's saying you can use it on the Windows or Mac, but it's or.
Yeah.
We need the and.
Right. Yeah. Good one. All right, Delbert.
But I had that one Seagate. It is kind of small, and it survived me carrying it around a bunch.
Yeah.
But I don't know how good this one's going to be about me carrying around.
Yeah.
And does it survive going through the X-ray machine again and again and again?
Well, I can try to back this up on one of my 2 terabyte ones, so you have this one, and I have it also on another one. And I can try to do the other one. It might be like Windows only, but I can at least have 2 copies of whatever. You'll have one, I'll have the other one. If anything goes wrong with yours, we at least have it on the other one.
Yeah, that way you basically have a remote access. And like before, like you put all that time putting up a web page, but then eventually you go away or they go away.
Yeah, I do.
And then your stuff goes, and everybody's like, "Oh, why you bother to copy all that when it's on the internet?" And they act like it's going to be on the internet forever. And it's like, no, most websites go away within the first year or two.
Yeah.
And if not then, at least by year 6 or something.
Yeah, right.
But then there are a few websites that have managed to hang around. And that's why I'll be telling you, I think I mentioned it before, that a lot of these websites, you go and you start reading the information, then you find out there's way more than you can read in one sitting. You know, before you used to be able to hang in there and you could read everything. It might take you 8 hours, but you could look through all their stuff. But now it's not going to happen, because that's 10 years of that guy's life that he's been dedicating to put all that material together.
Yeah, right.
And you're going to be doing good to find it all in 8 hours, long less read it all.
Yeah, yeah.
I found this one guy's website, and it's a little tricky, because he has like some pages that are like, whoops, sorry, they're like informative pages.
Yeah.
And then he's got other pages that are like books that he's written, you know, made up books. But then it's kind of cross-connected, and so you don't know which one you're looking at. But he's got like some story, like he may have information on the mafia. But then, is that like the real mafia or the mafia in your book?
I see.
You know, so you gotta watch out, because there's some of the stuff that's like real stuff that's happening in the real world and things.
Yeah.
Telling you about, you know, the truth about whatever party or incident or something. But then he's got all this fictionalized stuff too, which may kind of have some correspondence to things in the real world.
Yeah.
Or at least use the same name or something. And so it gets to where there's just no telling, unless if you've really kept separating what was the book. He's got like several books that he's written. Unless you pull all that out separate, kind of really divide it up, there's just you're gonna get mixed up, and I think that's kind of the whole idea, right? So he can say anything he wanted, because as long as he makes sure that he said that in the book, in the fictional book. And then when you come by reading the website about all this true stuff happening, then you hit one of those fictional ones, and you don't realize it, and you start see this is the way you rewrite history. One of the techniques for it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I found some stuff that they were putting out there for you to find here lately, because they wanted everybody to be all terrified. And then I guess they got to come mess with you if you looked at the other information they put out there. But they did a whole thing like that, and it's your government all spending lots of taxpayer dollars baiting everybody.
Well,
that wind's getting a little nippy now.
Yeah, it's getting dark. We got to go.
Yeah.
Take care, Delbert.
All right, see ya.
Come on, Malcolm. Good, Mecca. Oh, good, Mecca. Good job. Good, Delbert. we go. Good. Okay, Mecca. Yeah, you know where we are, huh? Good, Mecca. Oh. Big day, Thursday. In you go. In you come. In you come. Good, Mecca. There you go. My brother. Okay, and up we go. You want this taken off here? You're getting matted hair again. Okay, there you go, Mecca. I gotta empty my bladder. Probably should lie down and go to bed. Conserve and expand recycling capacity. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Juice, a lot of juice, water, solid food bites. There's solid food for you. And then what here? Pack, they're gonna find 3 of these units. Here's 2 of them. 2 of them. And then there's 1 more in the pack. Where's the pack? Here. And the Quran comes first. Bible, gotta read the Bible better. And then the regular phone, alhamdulillah. And then the other unit. And these have to get uploaded. Found your paperwork, you gotta generate that again. And there's 4. And there's 7. There's 8, and 1 is 9. Good. Hallelujah. Alhamdulillah. Fresh air for you. I'd like to eat. Dog food. like to eat spaghetti dinner again.